In the heart of Africa, there exists a culinary tradition that is not only about food, but a reflection of love, culture, and resilience. African women take immense pride in their role as caretakers and providers of nourishing meals for their families and communities. And for countless decades, cooking continues to be a source of strength and unity in many African societies. But this pride doesn't have to come at a cost. While traditional cooking methods are rich in culture, they also place a heavy burden on African women, affecting their health and well-being.
For over 4 decades, I have relied on a wood stove for my everyday life. And if I don't gather firewood, we won't have anything to cook with. The process of gathering firewood is no simple task, often involving grappling with thorns, and there's a risk of getting cut with a machete. After gathering the firewood, I tie it up and carry it back home. I endure severe headache and chest pain upon unloading the heavy load. Cooking with firewood is distressing and smoky, leading to frequent coughing. However, I cook meals for my husband and children.
Women and young girls constitute the majority among the 900 million people in sub-Saharan Africa who lack access to clean cooking solutions. Every year, 500 million people in the region die prematurely from diseases attributed to indoor air pollution. Tragically, the majority of these deaths are women and girls.
The adverse impact of using traditional cooking fuel on human health can be classified into 2 main categories. The short-term impacts include eye irritation and redness, coughing, flu-like symptoms, headaches, and asthma. In the long term, these detrimental effects extend to conditions such as pneumonia, interstitial lung diseases, chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases, and diseases like tuberculosis due to weakened respiratory defenses and exposure to smoke and toxins. Prolonged exposure can lead to cancer and ultimately death.
Traditional cooking practices, particularly in the rural areas, further denies women and girls educational and economic opportunities.
I head to the mountains to gather firewood at 6 a.m. in the morning and return at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. I don't like collecting firewood because it leaves me with little time for studying. If there were another cooking option, I wouldn't have to go.
Another layer of injustice exists among women whose livelihoods rely on working 6 to 8 hours a day to fetch firewood. Gender-based violence.
In Ijava, I faced a situation where a woman was physically assaulted because of her extended absence while gathering firewood. This incident occurred because she took longer than expected. When she arrived home, she was physically attacked. Tragically, the victim was pregnant, and as she was brought to the health facility, our examination confirmed that the assault led to a miscarriage. This incident exemplifies one of the challenges encountered due to traditional cooking methods.
Besides the adverse health impacts and gender disparities it fosters, traditional cooking practices contribute significantly to the effects of climate change. Over the past decade, a loss of 3.9 million hectares of forest is recorded annually, causing a severe damage of carbon sinks and biodiversity. But change is on the horizon. Across the continent, governments, innovators, non-government organizations, and communities are coming together to transform the way Africans cook. These transformative efforts are expanding access to clean cooking infrastructure, with the Africa Biogas Partnership Programs of 2019 endeavor leading the charge, constructing 100,000 biogas plants in Tanzania, Ethiopia, Kenya, Uganda, and Burkina Faso, providing nearly 500,000 people with sustainable energy source. Rural electrification projects are empowering communities by promoting modern energy services in remote areas, while ongoing support for research and development is igniting innovation for even more efficient and eco-friendly cooking solutions. And this is just the beginning. More groundbreaking interventions are taking root to ensure the achievement of clean cooking, lighting up a healthier, gender-equal, and more sustainable future for all. As a global champion of the Generation Equality Forum under the Action Coalition on Economic Justice and Rights, Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, is promoting the use of clean and affordable cooking fuels and technologies. This is an important initiative to achieve gender equality and empowerment of women in the just energy transition global agenda towards achieving a global net zero emissions by 2050. This initiative will not only pave ways in realizing each African country's climate action commitment, but also empower women and girls, especially in rural and peri-urban Africa, to be part of the solution to the global climate crisis.